follow with people. The one is you. How you all doing? Thank you very much. How you all feeling? How you all doing? Hope you find you well. There's a program that's rerun of the Bohosha Thanksgiving and all that. Great stuff. This is something I'm doing on the fly for half an hour. I'm doing this in English because I want us to really touch on one or two things. Firstly, before I go into it, please do share this broadcast. Very important. We need to all become part of the process to demand for the National Assembly and the state House of Assemblies to pass the law to compel the federal government to fix the four refineries now. Um, Everybody listening to me, you are, as citizens, you have the rights. The rights you possess are, of course, you possess the right to hold your government to account via section 42A. Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria from whom the government. Through this constitution, tomorrow. Thank you. Let me say that again. Sovereignty belongs, 42A. Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. You have that power. And of course, how to use the power is through participation in government, in your government. Section 42C. The participation by the people in the government shall be in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. Now, I'm going to say that over and over. It applies to every single thing we're doing. Whatever it is you're doing, that must be something that you must begin to really build and demand that it happens in your community. We are trying to show you how you can use those powers to hold your government to account. Again, I'm going to say it. Section 42A. The participation of the people in the government shall be in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. Section 42A. 42C. 42C. The participation. Let me say it again. Sovereignty. Section 42A. Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria from whom the government, through the constitution, derives money, derives all its powers and authority. So let me say it again. 142A. Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. Please remember that. Number two, the participation by the people in their government shall be in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. There is 14.2c. The participation by the people in their government shall be in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. So the constitution gives you sovereignty. You need to use that. And you need to use that sovereignty now because of the suffering of the masses. We need the masses to be aware that they possess the power to compel their government to fix the refineries. They have to fix the refinery in the two in Port Harcourt, the one in Warri and one in Kaduna. They must be fixed. We need to continue to urge you all in all seven local government areas to begin to put pressure on your local government chairman, your state House of Assembly members, your House of Reps, your senators, and indeed your governors. It needs and requires active participation in this process. No ifs, no buts. The time for action is now. We are calling on you all. Join Citizen AY. Let us put pressure. Via the Constitution, we use the powers we possess within that Constitution. Yes, we know it's flawed. We, and we use those powers until we get to the point where we now can go for self-determination. Because that is the only way we can get out of contention Nigeria is via the people themselves passing, insisting, and telling the elected officials, instructing them to go and insert a referendum clause in the constitution. That is the only way we can break from Nigeria. So that's number one. So we'll come back and talk about that again. So the oil refineries must be fixed. The money that they're using, they say 4 billion, 4 trillion naira on subsidy. Well, those monies should be used to fix the refineries immediately because it will alleviate the concerns and the pains of the citizens. It will alleviate it. So we are here to really tell you we haven't got time to waste. We need to really get on with it and make sure that those refineries are fixed with in speed, in record time. In record time, they must be fixed. No ifs, no buts. Again, I'm telling you, you have section 14.2a. Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. Please do share this broadcast as you're getting it. It's very important. The information that we're sharing here for you all on it. And here. Yeah, it is. It goes. Yeah. Thank you. So, so what I want you all to do is to really begin to share very important information like this, because information like this is what is going to really improve our lives and give us the future that we need for the coming generation. So we need you all to really join us. When you get this podcast, please do share. And subscribe to Season AY, the platform where we speak with power, help us reach more people, um, help us get this information to as many people as possible. Because what we need to do is to raise the level of awareness within our community to the rights that we possess. So please, Operation Fix the Four Refineries is something that every citizen in all 704 local government areas must be involved in. For me, I am very clear. I am for Yoruba Nation. I'm going for that. But we cannot achieve Yoruba Nation just yet without actually ensuring that we have a clause. One second. One second. You just see me going up. I'm just trying to get. You will not be able to achieve the Yoruba Nation without having a referendum clause inserted in our constitution. And that is the problem. You see, a referendum that is independently done by just one section will not do on it. They will not do. So what we need is a referendum that is part of and indeed that is part of and indeed is what is inserted in the constitution, so that everybody will have an equal opportunity in all areas of the nation to decide if they want to be in Nigeria or not. But that's for further down the road. Right now, the immediate plan is to fix our refineries because that is what is impacting the lives of our people. The cost of living, the cost of petrol is high. That's impacting the food you eat, even your generator. Being able to go travel to work, it's affecting everything. So we are really calling on you all to join us in this struggle. Ensure that you free you get them to fix the infrastructure. Thank you very much. Thank you for my time. So we need you to join us in fixing, demanding that the government, through you put pressure on your local government chairman, state and of assembly members, House of Reps, senators, that in all of the state House of Assemblies and the National Assembly, that they make morning. Lovely. They make the fixing of the refineries top priority. They must fix the refinery. The refinery must be fixed. Top priority right now. So please share this broadcast. Help us reach more people. Operation Fix the Four Refineries. And of course, they need to also insert, they have to put that are out of the 36 oil terminals, only 20 of them are metered. There are 16 terminals not metered, which means that there's ample room, there's big room for corruption. The government must be compelled to also meter those areas as a matter of urgency. So this is what we need to be doing as community members. To improve our lives, we need to take active participation in our governance. Active participation in our governance is of an in utmost importance right now. So that's the message that we're sending. Well, thank you very much. So we're sending that message out. Please share this broadcast. Let us reach as many people as possible. Because what we need to do is to raise the level of awareness. We have the power via the Constitution, Section 14(2). Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. We need to use those powers consistently. We need to encourage our people to use those powers and be able to use it to hold those we elected to office to account. If you're watching this broadcast for the first time and you haven't subscribed to Citizen AY, please, I urge you, go ahead, subscribe to Citizen AY, hit the notification button, give us a thumbs up. We need to get this information out there to encourage our people to know that they have powers to hold their governor to account. The reason I'm saying this, I'm going to go to the next step. But I'm saying this. Many people know about the Bible, they know about the Quran. How many of the pastors, how many of the imams, how many of the emirs know about the fact that we, the citizens, that sovereignty belongs to us? How many of them? They don't know it. They don't care about it because they don't even want you to know. Because they see you, the pastors and the imams see you as a sheep, flock of sheep that they are going to herd in the way they want. And that is the problem with the religion. Religion is designed to enslave the minds of our people. They don't want them to have the information to know that they have sovereignty. That sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. These are the kind of things we need to be sharing urgently in all our communities. So, morning, hi there. So we are really um, insisting that everybody go and ask your pastor, go and ask your imam right now. Ask them a question. Do you know of the Nigerian constitution? Do you know the particular important information that relates to the citizens? Do you know that this, do you know this section of the constitution? And you wrote quote this to them, to the pastors, to the imams, quote this to them. Section 14.2a. Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. You need to ask them that. Because what they should, if they don't know it, that is why they they use their that information in the Bible to confuse you, to make you feel powerless. You are powerful, but you need to use the power collectively as citizens. You see, each and every one of us are sovereign within a local government area. When we stand together collectively, we can exercise that power. Whereas the pastors and the imams will never tell you this. They don't want you to know you are powerful. They want you to see yourselves as powerless so that they can use it to influence you, to control your mind, to control your thoughts, to control how you do things. We are here to break that apart. We are here to make you wake up. Thank you very much, guys. All right. Cheers. Yeah. So we're here to really raise your awareness, to make sure you understand that all this religion, there's nothing wrong with you practicing your religion. You see, your body is a temple. I'm telling you now, your body is a temple. It's a temple in which you can pray. You don't need to go to any church or any mosque. You can pray. You can pray whilst you're walking, whilst you're sleeping, whilst you're walking and walking, whilst whatever. You can your body is literally a temple. So we are here to wake you up. But these people, the election and the religion is a tool of oppression. They are working hand in hand with those who are in government to keep you blinded, to keep you enslaved in your mind. We are here to wake you up. You have the power to hold these people to account. And we're trying to encourage you to use that power collectively. Active participation in our governance is a must. And I will say this again. Section 14.2a. I need you to understand and know that of it. Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. You need to use that power consistently and on a regular basis. You must. So I'm telling you, please, if you're watching this, subscribe to Citizen AY. Hit the notification button. Give us a thumbs up. You can see me now. I use a mobility scooter to get around. Quite a snazzy looking one. So because I have issues with my health, but I'm not hiding that. I'm not going to let that stop me. I believe that all of us we have a role to play. For example, the roads that I'm on here now in my area, it's very good roads. It makes it easier for me to be able to be living an independent life, despite the fact that I have physical limitations. That is what we want for our governors to do. The governors must be able to provide infrastructures to make the lives of the citizens better. And clearly, the governance in Nigeria is failing at all levels. Unless you participate, unless you are actively involved in holding your government to account, nothing will change. We are here to wake you up, to make you know that you possess that power. And that's what I'm quoting to you again. Section 14.2a. Section 14.2a states, sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. So please memorize that. You need to know it often. Secondly, you need to also know about the fact that 14.2c is how you use that sovereignty to hold the government to account. 14.2c, what you do is you use 14.2c, which states the participation of the people in the government. All right, you're the participation by the people in their government shall be in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. That is something you need to know. That means that you possess the power to participate in your governance because you, in your local government areas, you are collectively sovereigns. And it is time to begin to use those powers. The pastors and the imams don't want you to know that you possess the power that you possess. So that is why they will tell you, oh, as a pastor, I'm heading my flock, and they start using speaking in parables to confuse your mind, to make you believe that you're powerless. You have power. We are here to show you how to use those powers. You know. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. So we are here to really encourage you to make sure that you begin to have play active participation in your governance. It is of immense importance. The days of waiting around for any pastor to tell you, "Oh, come here, Jesus, Muhammad." Those days are long gone. You need information to be able to improve not only your lives but the lives of the coming generations. So we are here telling you now, the pastors and the imams, they are deliberately misleading you. And we need you to have the proper information to be able to live a fulfilled life, to have infrastructures, to have roads, water, light, schools, bridges, healthcare, hospitals in your community. The more those pastors know that you are a sovereign, but they don't want you to know that you have that power. So for them to be able to control you, and they're working for the government. The pastors and the imams are working for the government because they're designed, they're planning to keep your mind enslaved so you never get up, wake up, and hold your governor to account. Because the highest office, I need you to know, the highest office in the land is that of the sovereign. And who are the sovereign? You and I. The citizens are the sovereign. We are the highest office in the land because it states under Section 14.2, sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria. That's you and me, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. That's what it states in the books. And I need you to begin to share that information, particularly if you can share this in your local language. So I'm going to read 14.2a to you and 14.2c. 14.2a. Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. 14.2a. 14.2c. The participation by the people in their government shall be in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. That means, and I need you to understand this, that means that the imams, the pastors, all of them, they possess no powers. They possess no powers. Your office as a sovereign, you have more power than the imams and the pastors. You have more power. And we need you to really understand that. Thank you. We need you to understand that. We need you to exercise those powers. We need you to begin to really take action, collective action within your community. Because waiting for these people to fix anything for you, you are not going to get anything done. The only way for you now is for you to become active participants in the government. And we are here to encourage you to begin to take that action. Like I said, I'm going on a mobility school class, so that's why I'm doing this class. But I'm here to give you information to improve your lives. We have the power. For over 24 years, those in government have ganged up and prevented us from knowing this information. And we are here to empower you, to encourage you to know that you have the power to hold those who elect your office to account, to ensure that they no longer take you for granted, to ensure that you hold them to account using the powers in the Constitution. And to, for the first time, to become aware that the pastors and imams, they are more or less agents. They are agents of those who are oppressing you, the government. Many of them get paid. Many of them get paid by the government. Many of the pastors, many of the imams, they get paid by the government to keep you mentally asleep, to keep you oppressed, to never let you realize that you possess the most important power, which is sovereignty, and how to use it. Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power, we are here to encourage you to know that those powers are things that you must begin to use collectively. That collectively in your community, you must come together, you must stand as one, you must get your community together, share this knowledge. Make sure you share this knowledge to reach as many people as possible within your community. Because without you actively participating in your governance, you will not get the roads, you will not get the water, you will not get the light, you will not get the roads, you will not get the hospitals, you will not get the bridges, you will not get anything. And the people who are in government, they are intent on keeping you blinded. We are here to wake you up. We are here to make sure that you know the power that you possess and how to use those powers collectively as sovereigns. It is of immense importance. When you're watching this podcast, please share. Reach as many people as possible. What we are saying here, we are trying to change the lives of millions of people who have been oppressed for over 24 years. Since 1999, before that, we were oppressed under the military. But since 1999, the so-called democracy, they have denied us the right to exercise. They prevent us from exercising our right as sovereigns in our own nation. And we're saying enough of that. I'm telling you now categorically, any pastor, start asking the pastors questions. If they tell you to pray, if they say let's pray and all that, say, okay, pastor, do you know the constitution? Do you know the constitution? Do you know 14(2)(a) of the Nigerian constitution? First question. Do you know it? Are you familiar? Do you know it? If you don't, if you don't, sorry, let me just pass you that. All right. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Thank you very much. All right. So now, asking that question, every single pastor, any pastor or any man, if they're going to preach to you about anything, if they are not giving you your rights, many of them will never tell you the power that you possess because they need you to feel disempowered. That way, they have control over your mind. That is what is happening. I'm here telling you categorically. The pastors and imams, they want you, in Nigeria, they want you to never know the powers that you possess collectively as citizens. Because the minute you have that power, they cannot control what you do. They cannot keep you as a flock that they can fleece with for money. And you need to wake up. Our role here, my role, is to encourage you to please share this podcast and waken as many people as possible. I'm going to go and move forward and talk a bit more about why the imams and pastors are so dangerous to your health and to your well-being. Because one of the things that the pastors and imams are doing, some of them may know about the constitution, but they are banking on you not knowing it, and they use that as a way to exploit you, extract information to oppress you, even in your land. They will tell you where this is what the law says, this is what the Bible says, this is what the Quran says, and Bible, Quran is the law, the Bible is the law. It's all lies. That is why I'm telling you, make it your responsibility to teach the youth, children, youth children, youth, university students, primary, secondary, and university education students. Teach them about our constitution. Those two sections of the Nigerian constitution, 1999, 14(2)(a). Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. Again, I'm going to say again, 42. Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. You need to know that of it. And then 14(2)(c), the participation by the people in the government shall be in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. These are things that you must know. The pastors and the imams, they don't want you to know that. They don't want you to know you're a sovereign. Because if you know you're a sovereign, you will focus your energies on how to ensure that you use your sovereignty to force and compel your government to do your bidding, to fix your roads, your water, your light, and so on. But if you are praying and God will help you do it, then they are working for the government at your expense. We are here to expose all of this. We are here to make you aware that you possess those powers. The reason I'm saying it, recently, the emir, there was an emir in emir of Ilorin, some emir started harassing a woman. He amassed about 10 men, 10 or 15 men, harassing a woman, telling her that under any circumstances, um, she could not, under any circumstances, um, you know, practice her belief system. Now she believes in African deities and African belief systems and worshiping African deities. There's nothing wrong with that. But the imam, with the lies that he was spewing, the imam with the lies that he was spewing. told her, no, the law, Islam is the law in the land, and it isn't. Under Section 10 of the Nigerian Constitution, it says no religion shall be adopted as state religion. It says in Nigeria, no religion, zero, no religion shall be adopted as Section 10 of the Nigerian Constitution. And these are the laws. And this is why you need to know that information. That is why every community must rapidly be aware of the need to be empowered via knowledge of the Constitution. It is of such immense importance. I cannot overemphasize why this is such an immense important to share this podcast. You're watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak about. I'm going to come back on a live podcast and I'll be showing you details of that particular imam. And we need to help the woman. I mean, 10 men, the imam and his bunch of whatever they call themselves. They were harassing a woman because of her belief system. Everybody, Nigeria is a secular nation, and the law, the the Quran, the Bible, they are not above any law. The Quran has no jurisdiction in Nigeria. The Bible has no jurisdiction in Nigeria. The Constitution has jurisdiction over each and every citizen in that country. We need to share this kind of information. We need to confront these injustices. This is why I am out here doing programs like this to raise the level of awareness. Because what I saw with that woman, the woman this morning, and she was put in the middle of 10 men who are telling them, oh, the Islam says there is no Islamic law that supersedes our constitution. There is no Islamic law. Hear me well. There is no Islamic law that supersedes the 1999 constitution. No way. Because no religion shall be adopted as state religion. There is no such thing as an emirate. No way. Not in Nigeria. And this is why we are talking about. This exemplifies why we've been talking about the need for us to be aware that we have to be familiar with our constitution. We need to be familiar with our constitution because without that knowledge, many people have been unfairly treated, not knowing that they possess sovereignty, not knowing that they possess sovereignty, that they possess the powers to free themselves. Citizen AY, the platform where we speak to the power, is here to empower you, encourage you, make you know that those who are in power, they are there because you have, through Section 14(2)(a), which states sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. Those in power, they derive their authority because you have conferred it to them as a sovereign. You remain the sovereign. When they are working for you, they are not sovereign. They are serving you. We need to really ensure that our people understand how this works. And we'll be doing a series of programs to really raise the level of awareness. Because what is going on now is sheer injustice. And the lack of knowledge of the constitution has actually harmed our communities. Like I said, a case in point, many people are unaware. Many people are unaware. Many people are unaware that as we speak, that there are multi allocations paid by the federal government that they have every right to question and demand to know where those multi allocations are going because those monies are meant to be used to fix the infrastructure in your local community. But because you are unaware of the rights that you possess in the 1999 Constitution as a sovereign, you can ask the question. So, what we are doing on Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power, is to empower citizens to begin to stand up for their rights collectively, critically, collectively, so that they can take active participation in their governance. For over 24 years, since 1999 Constitution, none of our citizens have taken active participation in their governance. And we are here to change that. And we need you to join us on this struggle. One of the things you can do for us, if you're watching us is to subscribe to Citizen AY, hit the notification button, give us a thumbs up. Help us spread the message that we're talking about here. The message is simple. You, as a citizen, you are a sovereign. You are more powerful than the Bible and the Quran. To be able to use your power, you need to come together collectively within your community and exercise your sovereignty in the thank you very much. And exercise your sovereignty within the constitution, which states 42A. Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. Which means that as a sovereign, you can hold your governor to account. But many people have not been aware, and we are trying to change that dynamics. We are trying to make you wake up, to make you realize that those powers that you possess, you must begin to use it. You must begin to actively, use it to get the things you need to improve your life and those of your community and your coming generations. My battery is running low, so give me a minute. Whilst I'm doing this, I'm just going to change the battery shortly because the battery is running low. But you know, okay. One second, I'm just changing my battery, so do bear with me. Oh, sorry. If I do that, you can go past, so you have enough room. Okay. Just changing my battery. So sorry. So now you can see I'm about to go off again. I've changed the battery. So now what I will say to you all, thank you. So what I will say to you all is this: if you're watching this broadcast, what can you do to help raise the level of awareness about the need for our people to know the Constitution? The simplest and most effective way you can help us now is to share this broadcast. Share the broadcast, hit the notification button, subscribe to Citizen Network, the platform where we speak to power. Help us reach more people. The more you do that, the more we can able to help our people get this information. Because what is going on? What is going on is that we have been oppressed using mental enslavement. Our governance for over 24 years has deliberately mentally enslaved we, the citizens, by preventing us to know from knowing that we are sovereigns within our land and we can use that sovereignty to hold our people, our governance to account. They have used lies, they've used religion. The government has used, successive governments have used religion to blind the mind of the masses. And we are here to make sure the masses are aware of that injustice. And they have the power to do something about it by holding them down. That's what we're trying to do. Thanks much. So we are here to encourage our people to speak up, use the power they possess, and begin to question every daddy chigo, every imam, every alufa. If they come and tell you God is your only way, salvation, and everything else, tell them, ask them a question. I hear what you're saying, but tell me something. Are you aware of the Constitution? Do you know Section 42 of the Constitution? And they must answer you. If they don't answer you, they are fraudsters. They are fraudsters. If they tell you, oh, it doesn't matter, or they cannot tell you, they are fraudsters. You should not listen to those who are preventing you from knowing the information you need to use collectively in your community to build infrastructure. They are stumbling blocks on your development. The pastors and the imams and the churches and the mosques, they are there to, to blind you from ever holding your governor to account. And we're here to reverse that mental enslavement. We're here to wake you up, to make you know. We're here to make you know that you possess powers that has been previously hidden from all of us for over 24 years. and we need you to begin to exercise your powers. We will do some more programs where we're going to talk about this. Everything that is wrong with our community has been down to one thing, one key factor. We, the citizens, we have been actively prevented from actively participating in our governance collectively. They've used religion to blind you. They've used the religion of Islam and Christianity to blind you. We are here to wake you up. You need to wake up. You need to begin to exercise those powers. Again, I'm going to say, sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all the powers on authority. Section 1428. Please never forget that. 1423. The participation by the people in the government shall be in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. And that's what we need to begin to do. We must encourage our people, exercise those powers. We can no longer be silent. The Imam, the Emir of Ilorin, went and started harassing a woman on her own for her choosing to believe in her own ancestral ways of deities, of worshiping the deities. And we know that Nigeria is a secular nation. You can practice whatever you want. They have no right from stopping her from practicing whatever she wants to practice. They have no right to harass her. They have no right to threaten her life within the constitution. And this is why we are coming back on the constitution, and I'm going to show the imam, and I will really highlight the reason why we must. This highlights why we must encourage our people to begin to know that constitution. Because without that constitution, without knowing your powers in the constitution, the imams, the emirs, the pastors, the jadijios, they are going to be exploiting your life. You need to begin to wake up. I am here as Citizen AY giving you information to make your life better, to make you be aware that you possess powers that others have given to you for over 20 years. Here to expose this. We want you to share this information to reach as many people as possible, to make sure that we, the people, are no longer be lambs to the slaughter for this culture of crooks who are dressed up as politicians, dressed up as pastors, dressed up as imams. You possess the power to hold your government to account. We are here to teach you how to use it. We are here to encourage you to never be silent, to never allow them to exploit us anymore. It needs collective effort. Every community, I encourage every community to begin to make the teaching of the current constitution in all our local communities top priority, because that is the only way we can confront the lack of infrastructure. If you do not actively participate in your governance, you cannot get roads. You cannot compel the government to build roads. If you are just going to a church and praying, oh, may God come into their minds, that's empty. You're wasting your effort. What you need to do, more than anything else, what you need to do is to go and quote Section 1428. Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all the powers and authority. You quote it to your local government chairman, you quote it to your House of State House of Assembly, you quote it to your House of Reps, your senators, that you are working for us because sovereignty belongs to us collectively. And we are telling you that you must provide the money allocation to us. We need to know where that money is gone. And they have to answer you because sovereignty belongs to each and every one of us in a given local government area. We must change this mentality. We need to wake up collectively. And I'm trying here to make sure that this information reaches as many people as possible. Those of you watching me, or if you watch me later on, please make sure give us likes, thumbs up, and share the broadcast because we want to wake up many people in all 774 local government areas. We are going to be prepared when the people are awake. They can now see the flaws in the 1999 Constitution. When they see the flaws, thank you very much for the like. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. When they see the flaws in the 1999 Constitution, they can now for certain go forward and demand and insist that the senators, House of Reps, State House of Assembly members, local government chairman, they go and go and table a motion in the National Assembly for a referendum clause to be inserted in the Constitution because that is what we need. We need a clause inserted in the Constitution for a referendum. So these are the kind of things we'll be doing. And ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm going to be wrapping up here. I thank you for joining me on this podcast. I will be back shortly on the live broadcast, and I'm going to talk about the Emir of Ilorin. Particularly, I'm going to show videos to show and back up what I'm saying. For now, I want to say thank you very much. You've been watching Season Wide, the platform where we speak to power. Please subscribe, hit the notification button, and of course, give us a thumbs up. I'll be back later on. Thank you so much for watching. Please share, subscribe, hit the notification button, like, and of course, comment.